Hello friends, my name is Ria and I am the Blue Coast Stitcher. Today is, I have to look this up, Wednesday, January 6, 2026. Gotta get used to saying 2026. And this is FlossTube number 24. And I guess it's more considered a FlossTube extra as it's my whip parade. And I got a lot of them. I think there's like 50 of them here, I think. You're going to find I'm not a stats person. So first, I want to say welcome to my quiet and cozy little corner of the FlossTube world. To all my returning viewers and those of you watching my FlossTube for the very first time, Happy New Year! I hope each and every one of you had a fabulous month of December, whether you celebrated any of the holidays that fall in December or not. I hope you're able to spend time with people that mean the most to you and that you're able to just enjoy this, especially for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this very cozy season. Let's see, I guess because New Year, and there might be some new people here, and I always find whip parades, new viewers pop up. And hopefully the ring light in my glasses doesn't bother you too much. Maybe I'll just take it off. Then I can't read my notes. Joys of menopause. So first about me. My name is Ria. I've been married for over 30 years to my high school sweetheart. We have 3 adult children. Our oldest, Laura, is 30 years old. She lives in England. She's working in research in England. Just one second here. Number 2 is Amanda. She's 27. She turns 28 in a couple weeks. She's my January baby. She's currently at Lambton Museum doing some volunteer work. She's been looking for a job in her field, and being a museum studies and archivist in this economy hasn't been that easy, but we're getting there. And then my youngest is Daniel. He's 25 and he just got engaged just before Christmas. So that was some exciting news just before they came down from Kingston. He's working on his PhD in mechatronic engineering at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. And he and his long time girlfriend, they started dating, I think it was grade 10. And now they're 25 years old and she's finishing up her degree and he's trying to finish up his PhD, and they got engaged. So that's exciting news. No idea on a wedding date or anything. They're both still in school, and it's going to be at least 2 years out is my guess, if not longer, depending on what happens with jobs, careers, location, and everything. I'm a holistic nutritionist, kind of semi-retired right now. Cross stitch, reading, hiking. I love it. I'm in my craft room too. So if you watch other FlossTubes, you'll see I'm usually upstairs in my office because the lighting's better. Hence the ring lights that are in my glasses. So I'm in my craft studio in the basement because there's just so much. First time using my new microphone, so hopefully this works out well. We'll find out. Anyways, holistic nutritionist, lots of hobbies, lots of interests. Can you say squirrel? I like shiny new object syndrome. Hence the pile of whips, I'm sure. People sometimes wonder, like the Blue Coast Stitcher, where is that coming from? So it comes from where I live in southwestern Ontario. I live just outside of Sarnia, which is across the river from Port Huron, Michigan. So it's a border town, but we live outside of Sarnia. It's along the shores of Lake Huron. So we're, the Great Lakes in southern Ontario, if you know, is the Great Lakes Basin, and parts of, of course, the US is on the other side of the lakes. And so we live along the shores of Lake Huron. I don't have waterfront property, but we live across the street from a public beach access, so it's wonderful. Lake Huron is known for its blue waters, hence the blue coast down here in Lambton County, and sunsets. I guess National Geographic a number of years ago has listed Grand Bend, which is north of us. If you know Ontario, you know Grand Bend, it's a big beach town, as one of the best sunsets in the world. So I would say anywhere along the coast of Lake Huron, you are going to have phenomenal sunsets, especially in the warmer months. Right now, the lake is starting to freeze over, so it's still gorgeous. It's just a little more cold and gray and frigid. And so I'm very fortunate that I can go down to the beach and watch the sunset on the warmer days. In the summer, it's a little busier here. We're not quite as busy as Grand Bend. Grand Bend is stupid busy. The Pinery can get stupid busy if you know the Pinery Provincial Park. But kind of where we are, it's a little more quiet. We still get some tourists, so I'd get the odd time we'll be walking on the beach. We like to do beach walks at the end of the day on a summer day, and you'll see people who aren't local hanging out on the beach with their phones catching the sunset over towards Michigan. Anyways, hence the name Blue Coast Stitcher. What else? I think that's it about me. Keep it short but sweet. We're here for the whips. Lots of whips. We're going to I'll probably film this in a bit in sections because I'm going to start with my scroll rods first. So I have scroll rods. I love my scroll rods. I have the Hearthside Mark II floor frame. I also have the lap frame, but my scroll rod frame that I use 98% of the time now is my floor frame, which is in my stitchy spot upstairs. Then there's a whole whack of projects that aren't on scroll rods either because they're smaller or they're older and I just haven't put them on scroll rods yet, and I have plans to. And then we will talk about my plans for 2026, and if you want to stick around after this full-length feature movie, I'm a book reader. I'm a huge book reader, and I got a stack of new books that I got for Christmas that I'm going to share with you that I'm really excited to add to my to-be-read list. My red pile, I guess. All right, so grab your favorite beverage, some stitchiness if you like. You might need a snack or two, some buttered popcorn maybe, since this is going to be a long one. Let's get into this. So we're going to start first with scroll rods. And hopefully, because this is a new filming setup for me, that this works out. The lighting seems good, so and hopefully this microphone doesn't cut out. It should be good. That's my paranoia. I'm going to film like this full-length film, and then the microphone didn't work. I tested it before. So anyways, the first project is my currently what I am working on project. And it's the Modern Folk Embroidery Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Holiday Countdown project. I have the cards. If you follow Caroline, Friday Off the Grid, Evertotes, she has two FlossTube channel. One is personal, one is business. And Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery, you will see what this was all about. It was called, I think, the Song of the Bird, Song of the Nightingale, bird themed. I am not a stitch along kind of girl. I am a start along kind of girl. And you think I'd learn. This is my, what's this one? This is the 2025 stitch. 2024, 23. So 22 was the first one. I've done every single holiday countdown. I did not finish last year's. It's in the whip pile. I have finished the two. Yeah, this is number 4. So I finished 2, the first 2. Last year was number 3. I never finished it. It's a really sad start. And this year I have made really good progress, and my goal is to have this finished hopefully by the end of this month. Now that the holiday season's over, December is a very, very busy busy month for me, I should say, sorry. And I love the holiday countdown. It is a start along for me. If you know, it's all, you get the box, you have the exclusive fabric. I think this was not platinum, vanilla custard, minus 32 count. And then Roxy Floss. This year, not all of the flosses were dyed exclusively for this project. There was quite a few that were from their main regular line, and they dyed certain flosses. Go to Caroline's FlossTube, Friday Off the Grid. She filmed every single day for 25 days, and she stitched along because she's awesome. I did not stitch along, and I had some struggles. We will talk about this, struggles. You think I'd learn after, this is my fourth one, I think is my fourth one, that I should just open all the envelopes. Some people, they love opening the envelopes day 1, day 2, and working on that particular day, on the like day 1, December 1st, open day 1 envelope and start and stitch for that day. I cannot do that. I tried it this year. Borders and Rhea are not a friend. We do not get along, and I think because it's the month of December and there was a lot going on. Laura came home from England for Christmas. Daniel and his girlfriend Kate got engaged. This, you know, and then last year there was a lot going on as well. And December as it is, with the decorating, the shopping, the wrapping, all the things that is December. It just, not as much stitchy time as I like. So borders. So this is how far I am. If you go on Instagram, you'll see a bunch of people have done this. I do have a board. I have a board. Anyways, so this is as far as I have gotten. Yes, the theme is birds. You can see there's birds. And of course, Rhea and borders. So day 1, the border, you probably can't see, it's 2 colors. So day 1 is the one color of the border. Day 2 is the second color. I screwed it up. I screwed it up. I thought I could do it, and I started, where am I? I started here, up here. I'm not going to loosen because I want to work on it tonight. And worked my way around, and I got here, and the border didn't. Yeah, I started in this corner. Worked my way around, got to here. It didn't match. Bugger. So, let me loosen this up a little bit. So, I need reference points when I stitch borders. And so, I started stitching these reference points, and then I dismantled the border as I went along. And stitched in, oops, I'm at the table, I might be rocking it, I hope I don't. Stitched in. And so there was, I suspected there was a mistake down here, and sure enough there was, but the big mistake, the one that started it all, was right here, right at the, near the beginning, because the beginning's over, I started in this corner, right? So it was, where was it? Yep, it was here. It was here. With the first color, I misplaced a stitch by 1 stitch, and it threw everything off. And then further down, I did something similar. So my goal is to get this done. All right. I'm not used to this filming setup. Okay, now we're going to start with scroll rods. I am trying this microphone. I find it's a lot more clarity. So I unzipped all my zippers. So hopefully this will work. So let's start with the scroll rods. So how I do with my scroll rods, as you accumulate projects on scroll rods, it can be hard to keep track of them. So I just got some tags from Staples, which is an office supply store here in Ontario, Canada. Some paper tags. I have some twine. I've done, as you can tell, scrapbooking, and I'm not going to use ribbon because it's my nice ribbon, but I have some Michael's twine or something. I can't remember. I got tons of it. And so with the name of the project and who the designer is. So project number 1 is Agnes Kerr by, I have card notes too, so I know who is what. Maximum Cross Stitch, 1830. This was sampler September 2024. So I started this September 1st, 2024. And my linen is 32 count linen in biscuit using the called for Roxy Floss Co. And now Ellen designed this with 2 possibilities. One was straight cross stitch and one was with specialty stitches. I did just straight cross stitch. And I'm absolutely loving it. I tend to be a center starter, not always, but usually. And that's as far as I got. Not the greatest, but hey. And hopefully it focused. So there's that. Not the greatest, you know. I am someone that you watch to see what I'm working on, not what I finish. I did finish a few things last year, and I have one fully finished. I'm not going to share that today. But I am great at starting. I'm a bit of a slower stitcher. So yeah. And like I said, squirrel. Yeah, 32 count biscuit. All right. And I'm just putting things down beside me. And hopefully. All right, this one is, I went to Stitch North end of October with Jeanette Douglas, and I bought all the Jeanette Douglas projects. I don't know if you can hear my washer. So, in this one, I decided to step outside my comfort zone. You will hear people saying, I substituted floss for my stash, and I substituted this linen for that linen. And my tendency is to, stitch on what's called for with the called for floss, unless it's a Roxy Floss Co. conversion, which Floss Boss Hannah does such an amazing job. So anyways, Jeanette Douglas was at Stitch North in Brampton, Ontario, end of October this year. Of course, I went, and I've never stitched anything from Jeanette Douglas, and I bought a lot of Jeanette Douglas projects. This is the one I had to start. Vintage Flowers 2. Ellen. I'm trying to figure this. Okay. Here, let me take it out. I'm sorry. It's going to be loud. I have pot lights down here, so it can create a glare, and that's why I normally film upstairs. Vintage Flowers 2 with the Roxy Floss Co. conversion. I totally veered from the yellow. I wanted to do something different. So this is a 36 count Allure by Roxy Floss. And where's my board? The camera doesn't always, I got different lighting down here, so maybe this will help. Because the camera doesn't always pick up the contrast because it's such a dark, yeah, it's not. This is so awkward. Oh, maybe you can see how that floss is showing up on the 36 count Allure 1/2. I tried 2/2 with this, and I just wasn't happy with it. I was liking the 1/2 better. I have another 36 count that I'm doing 2/2, and you'll see why in a bit. Yeah. So the thread is showing up. I was worried it wouldn't, because it's the first time I ever done something like this, and I know I can switch some of the floss to something else if it doesn't pop, but so far so good. I started that in November. I don't have, when did I start it? Sorry, zippers. November 17th, I started it in 2025. I should not do that, should I? This is the other 36 count that I'm working on. 32 count linen tends to be my comfort zone. I am stretching out of my comfort zone into 36 and 40 count, and it's not killing me. It's actually enjoyable. So this is a doozy. This was my leap year start, and I haven't worked on it since leap year, which was 2024. A peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. I remember seeing this, I think it was in 2023 I started seeing it, and fell in love with it. It just has that old world tapestry look. And then Carrie and Caroline were talking about how much they liked it one day on the Evertote FlossTube channel. And I knew they're going to do a conversion with fabric. So I started this February 1st, 2024 as my leap year. Let me see which way's up on this. 36 count pub crawl, 2/2 with the Roxy Floss conversion. It was my first time working with 36 count, and it's a darker fabric, so it's a bit harder for my old lady eyes. I have not worked on it since 2024. 2025 did not see one single stitch. I really need to bring this out. Again, center start. I had some struggles with the white, as a lot of people do. White floss, the stitches not laying as nice as you would like them to. But I have since mastered white floss a little bit. I still struggle sometimes. And I know somebody mentioned, I don't forget where I saw it. Somebody talked about why white embroidery floss behaves differently in terms of not laying as neat and tidy as other floss. And it has to do with the pigmentation, etc. But anyways. All right. This one was a birthday start. Back in 2023, you're going to find I love Jacob. I love Modern Folk Embroidery. I have a lot of his projects. Most are just kitted. This one is my favorite so far that I'm working on from his. A winter kaleidoscope. Gorgeous. Now, Jacob's favorite Roxy Floss red is Falu red. I got this kitted up in 2023. It was winter. I bought it the winter of 2023. And started it on my birthday, August 21st, 2023. I gotta see what side's up. Okay, there we go. I pick it up here and there. It did get some stitches in. It's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's on 32 count dirty porcelain. The thread I chose instead of Falu red was mulberry. So the fabric and the thread, of course, is from Roxy Floss Co. And ever tote. That's the thing with scroll rods. Awkward when you're trying to show stuff. So that's as far as I got. I think that is 3 of 22 pages. I was working on this in June because I did Mirabelle in May, and there's a lot of color in that. And I wanted something like single color. I just needed something different. And so I was working on it, and I noticed, of course, when you're working on it and you're close up, you see it. I made a mistake. Instead of doing 2 over 2, I did 2 over 4 for 1 stitch. And to be honest, unless it's under the magnifier, I don't see it. So I might not take it out, but who knows, by the time I get it back on my scroll rods later this year, I'll probably see it and go, it's bugging me, it needs to come out. Yeah, as soon as it's off my magnifier, I can't see it. So yeah, instead of 2 over 2, I did 2 over 4. Oops. I am absolutely loving it. And then, of course, Jacob signed the pattern for me because I was at Jacob Palooza in 2023. Yes, 2023. Because we moved. 2023 was a year of unexpected change. We used to live closer to the kitchen, in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, and then we were toying because the kids were grown and leaving the house, and Laura was in England, and blah, blah, blah. That, you know, it was time to, we're not liking the direction the area was going in terms of overdevelopment. It was turning into another suburb of Toronto, and I did not want to live in an environment like that. I am more of a small town country girl, and but my in-laws live out this way, and they've been struggling, so my husband's like, we need to move this way. We were looking north instead of southwest. And so, okay, let's toy with looking at houses around here. So that's like June, July, we were looking at houses. And end of July, we saw the one we're in, and we're like, we really like it. And okay, I guess we're moving. And then we had 1 week to organize over, which one is this? Oops. This fell off of something. Oops. So anyways, yeah, things happened. It was like one of those, it escalated quickly situations. So one of my tags fell off my bag. Oh, I know which one it is. It's the one that's here. Okay. So 2023 was a bit of upheaval, and then Jacob Palooza was the weekend before we closed on this house. So, and then we were having issues that we had to get a litigation lawyer involved with the buyers. So it was one of those, yeah. And so I started that August 21st because we sold the house in air, and I just needed something to start. So I started Winter Kaleidoscope. I didn't get too many stitches in just because we had to move by the end of October, and then things kind of went stupid. Anyways, but I'm really enjoying it now. The next is Matilda Clark by Shakespeare Peddler. I started this, I was egged on by Carolyn. And this was kind of like a birthday stitch with me. I started this August 1st, 2024. This was my first time stitching on 40 count linen in biscuit by Roxy Floss using the Roxy Floss thread conversion. And then we have 2 rescue cats, and one is Athena, and she's very high need, and she's right here. And she's already hopped on the table. And I haven't stitched anything on it in 2025. There's a lot I didn't stitch on in 2025. I did 24 starts in 2024, and I think that kind of threw everything off. I am not as a prolific stitcher as some people are able to be. I try to stitch every day. Oops, I forget I have a microphone on. I try to stitch every day, but it doesn't always happen. And I don't always have, like, if I do stitch, it might be just, okay, I just have half an hour, 45 minutes to get a few stitches in. So that's part of it. It's just life. And then August is my birthday month, and that's when I started this, and it's the end of summer. I want to get as much summer in, so there's other things. So anyways, this is as far as I got. Hopefully you can see it. Athena's walking away. Don't feel sorry for her. She's had lots of attention today. She's also discombobulated. Anyways, there it is. Roxy floss conversion. 40 count, 1/2. And I'm loving it. And yeah, it was biscuit. And I tend to ramble. Sorry. This is why my videos take so long. Anyways, Athena's a bit discombobulated because Laura came home for the holidays. We brought her to the airport Monday. Today's Wednesday. Tuesday, yesterday, she was really upset because Laura was gone. And then today we had some workers in the house because we had some problems with the venting of the range hood above our stove leaking, and it was noisy and chaotic, and there were problems. They had to replace the piping. And so now she's really stressed, and she's had numerous cuddles. She did pop in earlier. I might include that in the beginning of this video or at the end. I don't know. Okay. This is a Leela Studio. Where's my card? There it is. Keeping myself more organized. So I think I have all of her seasonal Quakers. I have not started all of them, but I think I have them all. So this is the Halloween Quaker. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm pretty much using all the called for. I started this November 3rd, 2024, and it did not see a single stitch in 2025. 32 count murky Belfast linen with the called for DMC threads. And it's another center start. I don't know, I just like a good center start. Oh. It's a decent start. I love that witch. I wanted to start the witch. I think that's why. I just wanted to start that witch. I definitely want to get some more stitches on that. As I go through this, I might be discussing, just kind of touch on my plans for 2026. I will discuss once I'm done with this whip parade, the in-depth plan. It won't take too long. Okay. Athena's left the room again. I think she's realized I'm no fun. Halloween Quaker, Leela Studio. And this one I'm kitted with a DMC floss. I think I have another one that I kitted with something else. Anyways. Sorry if I'm making noise. I gotta remember I have a microphone on and not to put things too close. All right, here is the other Leela Studio project that I am working on. Where is my card? You'll have seen quite a few people working on this. I started this September 22nd, 2024. Samantha, the Hygge Stitcher, was doing a stitch along, and of course I was late to the party. What else is new? But I started it and I just fell in love with it. So yeah, Autumn is Joyful. Oh, it's so gorgeous. 32 count platinum Belfast linen using the called for DMC. Started December 22nd, 2024. I did not, oh sorry, see I keep forgetting the microphone. This might be a bane of my existence. There we go. I think I did well. Oh, I couldn't put it down. 2/2, of course. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I kept the saying. I like the saying, autumn is as joyful and sweet as an untimely end. I know a lot of people were uncomfortable with that saying. I personally was not, so I kept it. I liked it. Because to me, autumn is about endings and new beginnings. So you can't have beginnings without endings. All right. And that did not see any stitches in 2025 either. It was kind of a sad year for 2025. All right, next one. My first and only fancy lady. So Samantha Huga Stitcher, she's big into memorabilia, Nora Corbett. I've always admired them from afar. There's my card. So I decided to kit up one and start it in May. So this one, I started May 14th in 2025. I had a later than I hoped start, because if you work with a floor frame, this is Athena, sorry, Goddess of Wisdom, that's the one I chose. May 1st came around, you'll see it in one of my previous floss tubes, and I was so excited. Got the fabric, which is 32 count chestnut Zweigart, using the called for DMC and specialty threads, water lilies, etc., and beads. And the crossbar, so you have to have a crossbar on the floor frame that's at least a little bit longer than your scroll rod, so you have room to do the flip flip. I didn't think. I ordered the big extra long, this is the longest scroll rods that Hearthside Crafts has, and I couldn't get it onto my floor frame, and I was not about to take it out of the scroll rods, and yeah, it was just, so I had to wait till my scroll frame, floor frame crossbar came in. And they're usually pretty good. I ordered it, and then it took about a week or so to get here, and I could start it May 14th, because then life, I absolutely fell in love with it. 2/2, 32 count chestnut, called for DMC, water lilies. I think there's something else. I think it's just DMC and water lilies in this. And of course the beads, which I have not put a single bead in yet, but I'm excited for. I would definitely want to do some of this in May. I want to, now that I am better prepared to do this. Okay, let's zip this up, tie this up. I'm really happy with it. I think I carried this through into mid, because I got a later start, so I kept stitching on it well into June, and then I switched to Winter Kaleidoscope. And it's also May's gardening season and all that, right? So I'm outside a lot more. I like to garden, so. All right, what's this one? This is the sampler September of 2025. Everybody's friend Ellen from Maximum Cross Stitch designed this one. When did I start this? I know some of these things, stitch alongs or whatever you want to call it, they start usually on the 1st of a month, and I very rarely start on the 1st of the month. Sometimes I do, but not always. Laura was home for a friend's wedding, that's what it was. So she didn't quite go back home till Labor Day weekend. Anyways, if you know, you know. Jane Wood, 1853 reproduction sampler. I bought it for the full-size sampler and the not so small. Again, if you watch Caroline and Carrie on the Evertote Notes from the Workshop FlossTube, you will have seen the not so small. That is stunning. 40 count Speculas with the Roxy Floss Co. floss. Charted, that was charted with it. I started with the center. Let's see, can you see? Oh, maybe I don't need the board. I'm worried the board's hitting the microphone. Started with the house. It's a very fine house. I absolutely love this. 1/2. Oh God. I love it. Love it, love it, I love it. Ellen has just, oh, her designs are just chef's kiss. I know she's got, because she was doing the Tudor Queens, and she's got, not the Tudor Queens, but she's doing Charlotte, Queen Charlotte. And at Stitch North, Ry McGuy was working on the model stitch. And it's like, oh, I have not done any of those ladies, but yeah. That'll interfere with my plans though. All right, this one is an oldie. So I'm somebody who cross-stitched when I was in college. So we're talking late 80s. I'm dating myself. I'm aging myself. Yes, I'm old. And well, I have a 30-year-old, so. And got out of it, kids, family, blah, blah, blah. And then I started to get back into it. I was always interested in it, but I didn't really start stitching again till 2017, 2018. But even that was like a little bit here. I picked up a kit, which is somewhere in the laundry basket of whips. But I really didn't seriously start stitching, I think, till like 2019, 2020. I think it was 2019, but it's not, but I really got serious into 2021. And I have seen numerous people finish this one. It's from By the Bay Needle Arts. It's the Harbor Haven all 12 scenes. So as you know, it's long and short. It's like it's skinny, but it's long. It's very wide because it's a scene. So I think I've got 2 scenes done. This is on 28 count, hand dyed by Paige Lane. It's because I wasn't keeping track at the point. I got it kitted at Stitch It Central. I'm pretty sure I did it. I ordered the kit during lockdown or something because yeah, I didn't see it in person. It was ordered online. Sorry, it's long. I've got the first 2 scenes done. I did not see any stitching last year. Called for DMC. I absolutely love it. Oh. And then it's gonna be long. I really should work on it. It's 28 count, so it's easy on the eyes, and the colors is just, oh, I love it. By the Bay Needle Arts. I love her stuff. I started this, I think, either in 2020 or 2021. I don't know. I got it at Stitch It Central, and they had just moved to London because one of my other whips, I got it when they were in Ingersoll, but now they're in London, so technically they're my LNS. So there's that. Oh, we got our final scroll rod project. These spotlights. Hopefully the ring lights, because the lighting, it's dark and dreary day too here. All my glasses aren't too much of a problem. A year at Hawk Run Hollow. I love Hawk Run Hollow. So I decided to kit this up and start it. Where's my little card? It's A Year at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I am stitching it on 32 count Belfast linen in sand by Picture This Plus and using the called for NPI silks. It was my first time using silks, and oh shoot, it's a knot. And I absolutely fallen in love with silks. Oh crap. Instead of a bow, it's a knot. Bows are so much easier to undo. There we go. It's not a great start. I started this June 9th, 2024. Oops. 2/2, of course. And I started in the center, which is Mayflowers. Oh, there you go. I did not see any stitches in 2025. I was having, don't know why, it was a good year this year. I don't know what was going on in my world. All right, I'll deal with that later. I don't want to bore you with me fighting with a knot. So that's it for scroll rods. I'm going to pause this for a second and get set up for the non-scroll rod whips, which there's a lot of. It's already been 45 minutes. Oh, okay, it's going to be a long one. Okay, I had to switch microphones for some reason. I hope you enjoy the intermission. It came with two, so luckily this still works. The light is flashing. Okay, we're going to get back to this. We're back. Now we're doing the non-scroll rod whips. Athena's having a party. She scratched me, so hopefully she's being a bitch today. All right, let's get back at her. Time's a wasting here. So this is the saddest, one of my saddest whips. I do Stitch North, which is Evertotes. Caroline and crew from Evertotes puts on retreats every year. Now there's two retreats, spring and fall. And this is before she did the fall one. Leanne from 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers was the designer that had the Stitch North exclusive project for that year. I think it was 2023. And it was a series. So she calls them her ragamuffin. She collects a lot of antique samplers and she reproduces them. Beautiful work. I got a few of her pieces. There's another one of hers that's a whip in here, and another one that's part of my plans for 2026. So she calls them her ragamuffin because she buys the samplers that are very rough and tumble and raggedy. Anyways, so this was a series. First one was Sing After the Storm. So this is the one that was released at Stitch North. And then they had 4 more released throughout the year. So The Quiet of a Nest, My Heart is in Flames, and these were just smaller ones. Bloom Wildly. So these were motifs from a bigger sampler that she had. And Speak of Love Silently. So it's a whip and a kit, because the whip, of course, was the first one. Sing After the Storm. All of them will be, and this one is on 32 count Panettone by Roxy Floss with the called for Roxy Floss threads. And my itty center start. Oh, so tiny. Oh my God. It's so sad. I don't even think there's 10. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. Yay me. I have all the floss and all the extra. See, I have 4 more. It's 1/8 of a yard each. And again, a lot of people have finished it. And then we got this cute little quilt project bag. I love the Evertote project bags that I'm just keeping the floss in. All of the patterns use certain flosses, and then they kind of mix and match some of the other, like there's certain flosses that are in every project, and then every project there's at least 1 or 2 flosses that is unique to that project, I think. Anyways, that is whip number 1. It's a whip and a kit. I don't know. Okay, glitch in the matrix there. Let's do this one. I have a card tables here. It comes in handy. This is an extra special one. I had to, if you watch my other floss tubes, there's a story to this one. So my mother passed away in 2017. My life is full of stories. She was a prolific knitter, but she also dabbled in cross stitch. She had a sister that was heavy into cross stitch, so she dabbled into cross stitch. Hopefully I don't bug the noise too much. Anyways, I'm Dutch. I'm first generation Canadian born. My parents were immigrants from the Netherlands, and so we have quite a bit of family still overseas in the Netherlands. I do have cousins, all the aunts, and I have an aunt and an uncle still alive on my dad's side. On my mom's side, there was an uncle and an aunt and his wife, aunt, but they're both passed before my mom. Then my mom passed in 2017, but the demise started in 2012. It's a long story. So I had to, 2012, she had colon cancer surgery that went sideways. And so I had to close the apartment she was living in, put everything into storage. She spent over a year in hospital. Thank God for universal health care. People like to complain, but good Lord, saved our ass so many times in that 5-year period from 2012 to 2017. She was in that hospital. She was in hospital more than she was not. She spent 2012 to 2013 in the hospital. 2016 to her death in 2017, she was in the hospital. Very long story. I won't get into it. But anyways, she did some cross stitch. And when I was closing up her apartment for the first time, because she could no longer be on her own, she had dementia, a whole host of physical and mental problems leading up to this. Anyways, I found this project. It's from Lenart. It's a kit that she had picked up on one of her trips visiting family in the Netherlands. I've made progress. She didn't get too far on it. It looks like a 28 count linen with called for kit floss, and I'm pretty sure it's DMC. The instructions are in Dutch, so I could figure it out. I grew up, my parents did not teach us Dutch, but we figured it out. Because you hear it when you're around it, because it was a Dutch immigrant community, so we were around the Dutch language all the time. Even though at home, when I interacted with my parents, it was always in English, but when they interacted with each other, it was in Dutch. So you pick it up. They thought they could get conversations past me, and they didn't, because kids are pretty quick. So she started this. I tried figuring it out. She made quite a few mistakes because her dementia was kicking in before the 2012 colon cancer surgery. Her dementia we now realize there was the early stages of dementia, and the stress of the surgery and in and out of ICU, etc. in 2012 and 2013 really amplified that dementia. So this is as far as I am. When I got it, I think there was bits of the seat. So I'm at the hand. I like to work on this some more. I worked on it last. Her birthday's in April, so I try to work it on it in April. There's a few glitches that I might have to fudge because I'm not taking it all apart, but I am loving it. 2/2. I'm pretty sure it's a 28 count linen. It's probably Zweigart is my guess. And eventually it's going to look like that. That is my to-do. And then just because the card system, I forget what these are called. So I just kind of threw it on here because there's a lot of color changes. And I am not going to put that on the floor because cats. I mentioned I dabbled in cross stitch. So one time I picked up a cross stitch kit. I had a girlfriend who used to live in Mississauga, so she took me to Gita's, which I think is, she used to live in Mississauga. I think Gita's is technically an Oakville address. Anyways, I picked up I don't have the cover. It's from Lavender and Lace, Celtic Christmas. I don't have the photo. I started it, I think I had strep throat. Kids were little, so I was like stuck because I had really bad strep throat for a week. And so I started the dress. Celtic Christmas, Lavender and Lace, if you know, you know. And then it got put away for years and years and years, and I still haven't worked on it. But it's a whip. What's this one? This one is from Avlia. Yes, I do have a picture. She does a lot. If you know Krista West from Avlia, she does a lot of beautiful, beautiful Mediterranean Greek inspired designs. I have grand plans to do pillows for my couch. My couch is a very deep, deep royal, almost navy blue like that. And I got this, started January 1st, 2023, 26 count linen that Krista provides called Makini, which is basically like a broadcloth linen. And then she usually throws in the DMC in the kit. Oh, and there's a needle. Oops. And I got my sad start. January 1st, 2023. Yay me. Oh, yes, I am recording. I just had a moment of, oh my God, what if I'm not recording? This one is Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery. Heike Harms Hasselhoff. Now, Hasselhoff is a German name, but this was Dark November. November 1st, 2022. I worked on it, and then I didn't. 32 count linen in parchment by Weeks Dye Works. Floss is Chalkboard by Roxy Floss. And again, I think I started it and then I had to restart it, and it's way too big. The piece of linen I have is way too big for the project, but I really need to work on it. Heike Harms Hasselhoff. Harms. I have an Oma Harm, which is Harry. Harold. And I got this because you will see. So Heike Harm, she's the stitcher. And her maiden name is Hasselhoff. And you'll see G-E-B, which means geboren, born, in August 1831. But her husband is Ado de Boer. And my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, is a de Boer. So I kind of got that because there's a connection. I think he was managed to get some information. De Boer is a pretty common name in the Netherlands. It's the farmer. Boer. And you had the Boer War in South Africa. That's the War of the Farmers. So I have yet to see. I had relatives in that town, but I don't think they were any relation to her husband. But it's still cool. So we lived, this is a dimensions kit. And it's a really sad, sad start. Oh, no, sad. What did I get? Like 10 stitches in? It's a dimensions kit called Hummingbird and Poppies. I love poppies and I love hummingbirds. I was so happy to have hummingbirds in my garden this year. We're in the migrate because of where we are in southwestern Ontario, along the lake. We get a lot of migratory birds in the spring and the fall, and then some hummingbirds that hang around. So this is what it's supposed to look like. Typical dimensions, Ada and Floss. And my really sad start. It's not worth showing. I'm showing it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because it's real life. I'm real life stitching, and sometimes it's sad. And sometimes, well, it feels sad. It's never sad. It's glorious. This one is the Stash Squirrel. by try not to make too much noise because of the microphone. The Stash Squirrel. So Hannah, Floss Boss Hannah, has done a few designs for Evertote. So it's called Han's Little Cross Stitch Treat, and this is called the Stash Squirrel. Isn't it cute? And squirrels tend to be a theme in my life just because I always say, you know, squirrel, I'm distracted easily. I probably have ADHD. Squirrel. And I feed the squirrels in the neighborhood because I'm that crazy lady. 16 count Ada in pirouette with the called for Roxy Floss Co. threads. And that's as far as I got. It did not see any stitches in 2025, and I really, because I don't stitch on too much Ada, and I really enjoyed stitching on this. I should pick it up again. That can be one of my plans for 2026, working on that. Okay. Next. Oh, when did I start on it? 2023? I think it was one of my 24 starts in 2024. I started it October 15th, 2024. So I'm actually pretty good. This one I picked up at my very first Stitch North in 2022. And it's when I fell in love with Tiny Modernist, another Canadian designer. Mushroom Forest. It is on 28 count atomic fibers in Frizy, whatever. And then I had Hannah do a Roxy Floss conversion. FYI, I do not iron. If you're offended by wrinkled linen, oh well. Anyways, this is as far as I have gotten. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I love mushrooms. So pretty. Did not see any stitches this year. There's a lot of that for me. This will tie into my plants, and I need to edge the fabric. It's fraying. It's driving me crazy. Modern Fark embroidery in the garden. Picked this up at Jacob Palooza in 2023 when my life was upside down and inside out. Where's my card? It has a decent start. In the Garden of Holland, a Dutch sampler. Isn't that pretty? It is on 32 count Speculas, 2/2 with the Roxy Floss conversion. It's a work in progress. When I picked it up at Jacob Palooza in end of October 2023, I started this January 15th, 2024. It was kind of a throw some floss toss. And so I started in the center, and I'm sure the floss that I have pulled for it currently will evolve and change as I work on it. But yeah, it's a doozy. I tend to do big too. Do really big. And Evertote bag. There's my dryer. What is this one? Another Modern Folk. Oh, this was last year's Salentines. Modern Folk embroidery. 2 Phoenix for you. Salentine's project for 2025. Oh, Jacob. And then he put this Art Nouveau. He always attaches some beautiful artwork to some of his booklets. This is on 32 count arrowroot with the called for threads by Roxy Floss Co. You'll see a lot of Roxy. Started February 2nd, 2025. And it's coming along. You can see the dirge hoop impression. I'm over halfway, it looks like. I really need to put some stitches in it. I love it. The colors, it's so bright. It is so bright. All right, next. Hands Across the Sea. I have one or two. I got one started, I think, of Hands Across the Sea, and a couple kitted. Eliza Martha Linfoot, 1834. Picked this up from Traditional Stitches out west in Alberta. I'm very sad to hear she's retiring. The business is for sale. Hopefully somebody buys it, because I think she had a deadline of sometime in February. If it's not sold by February, they start selling the fixtures of the store and the stock, whatever. Anyways, 30 count linen in Swiss Cocoa by Legacy Linen, using the called for DMC threads. Started in January 1st, 2021. And there's my pitiful start. Yay me. Yeah, so she's Traditional Stitches. She announced she's retiring, and the store, the business, is for sale. So hopefully somebody buys it, because that falls into my 2026 plans. This is another one. This is by Sterling Stitches, Kitchen Witch. This was started October 20th, 2024. On 28 count mystery linen. So I signed up for the Roxy Floss Co. Linen Club, and I did traditional. I think they've named this one since. The Roxy threads, there's two. It's only two colors, the black and a silver gray, or three. What are they? Chalkboard, silver birch, smoke and grunge. Sorry, 4. Anyways, I got the Wit and Witch done. I'm not sure if they've introduced this, because when they first started the club, they didn't really, there was no names to the linen. Now they name the linens. I really should. It's a 28 count, 2/2. Called for Roxy Floss. Mystery linen, 28 count. Started October 20th, 2024. All right, we're doing along. We're humming along. Furry Schooler. Santa's Revisited 3. Some I haven't really worked on. Oh, I got a couple pieces of fabric here. Yeah, I really need to focus. 28 count Ada. Is that right? Doesn't look like 28 count Ada. It's probably 18 count. In putty, khaki Davos with called for DMC. And I think, yes, it's the Santa with the light and the bird, this one. And I just, oh God. Squirrel, squirrel, and squirrel. And then, what was the start on that? 2021, maybe? I remember going to the store picking out the stuff. So was it before the pandemic or after? And maybe I picked it up just before the pandemic and then started it up during. All right, I have been part of the Artsy Housewife Patreon. And I think this has now been released to market, general market, but I started it in November 22nd, 2024. And it's the Christmas cat. Okay, our other cat, Artemis, is a traditional tortie, and that's what she looks like, dazed and confused in the Christmas tree. She loves the Christmas tree. This is a scrap. So I was at Stitch North, end of October 2024, and they had a bin of scrap linen that they were selling, just offcuts, right? After they cut up the 1/4 yard, 1/8 of a yard, whatever, 1/2 a yard. These are the remnants left behind. So I bought one. So it's 32 count speculas. And then of course, Hannah, the fabulous floss boss Hannah, did the conversion, and I screwed up the border. Hence I started doing this, and the screw up is probably down here somewhere. And so here we go again. November 22nd, 2024 is when I started it. So I think I kitted it up at the Stitch North retreat end of October 2024 and started it end of November. I got a few stitches at the retreat with Jeanette Douglas this year. All right, what's this one? Another Jacob. This was Jacob's stitch along for 2025, and I, of course, turned it into a start along because that is what I do. Baldequin birdies. It's very Baroque. So pretty. Oh, 32 count dirty porcelain by Roxy Floss. The floss that I'm using is Merlot. This is what I think he charted it in Falou red, but I chose Merlot. And that's my start. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. So that's Merlot. All right. Oh, what's this one? This feels like a maximum. It is a maximum. This was Sampler September, the first one that Ellen designed for in 2024. Oh, that's sad. Oh no, no, it was Sampler September 2023. But I didn't do it because we were packing and moving, everything was put away, so I didn't start it till September 2024. Along with Agnes Kerr. I think it was Agnes Kerr. Anyways, September's Revenge. I had established gardens in her old house. So I picked this up at Spring Stitch North 2023, with the plans to start it September 2023, but things escalated quickly month. 32 count linen in biscuit with the called for Roxy Floss. Started September 2nd, 2024. So I started a year later. And I got some of the house done. I got to finish stitching those windows. And that's what it's supposed to look like. So we had established gardens in our old house, and it would be like this. It would be like by the time you got to September before the first frost, it was like the plants were going crazy. All right, what is this one? This is a blackbird. This is the one that I picked up a while ago when Stitch Central was in Ingersoll, Ontario. So my mom had a very long and strenuous, like I said, 2012 to 2017. And she had to have an amputation of her right leg in 2014, and then she was in and out of rehab in London. And then she was back in the hospital. Anyways, I think I picked this up in 2015, kitted it up, but I didn't start it till 2021. This was my Blackbird obsession started. Bountiful Harvest, a Loose Feathers Abecedarian series number 4. And I hadn't stitched in years, so the owner of Stitch at Central, her daughter, who has since passed, was working the store that day in Ingersoll, so she helped me kit this up. 32 count Belfast linen in mocha with the called for DMC threads. This is my start, and I know I started this in is it this way? I don't know. 2021, it's got satin stitches. I'm not happy with my satin stitches. I might redo them. It is what it is. Oh, Jacob Palooza. So Jacob Palooza was October 2023. I was so happy to meet Jacob. I'm Frisian. He's Frisian. I was so excited to meet him. This was, so they offered 2 exclusive projects to that Stitch North retreat in October of 2023. I picked the big Frisian sampler I know a lot of people can't pronounce this because Frisian language is very different. It's different than Dutch. So this is how you pronounce it. I know people look at it and they go, because when you look at the names, what? I grew up around hearing these type of names. Tietja and Grietje. Gietje. Can you say that? Tietja and Gietje. You'll see the J. The J is not pronounced. It's more of it's phonetics. Gotta love it. Frisian mother-daughter sampler from 1774 to 1801. 32 counts speculaas with the called for Roxy Floss. Started at the retreat on October 15th, 2023. I think I put a few stitches in it at the 2024 spring stitch north. I put maybe 10 stitches in. I don't do well at retreats for stitching. It's too many distractions. And we learned how to do Frisian letters, which is different. And I learned a few things about my own heritage from Jacob that I did not necessarily learn from my mom. So that is good. And he signed it, of course. And one of the plans of 2026 is to work on that this year. This was another stress project. So we lived in Ayr, and Ayr is 10 minutes from Paris, Ontario. Paris, Ontario has a craft store called Mary Maxim. If you know, you know. Ooh, my backs have come a long way. My mom passed. So Blackbirds, I was traveling to London for my mom, and I stopped at Stitch Central, who was at the time in Ingersoll, on the way home, and kitted Blackbird. And then my mom passed in 2017, and then renovations. I just remember it had to be upstairs, which was maybe 2018. So I thought, I want to get back into cross stitch. My upstairs was a mess. We were supposed to travel, but we couldn't because Dave had an issue with his foot, which precluded us from traveling. So we had to stay in hotels away from the house because we couldn't stay in the house because of the renovations in the bedrooms, and all of our furniture was on the main. I just remember sitting at the kitchen table because we could be home on the weekends and stitching on this. Geisha Dimensions. It's a small kit. The kit, Ada and Floss. And I'm not going to show my back because I didn't know what I was doing in 2018. It was sad. Or was it 2017? I don't know when I started it. It was stress. It was a blur. I really should finish it because it's just, I know what I'm doing now. At the time I didn't know what I was doing. All right. Another Blackbird. This one will be going on scroll rods. I tried stitching it not on scroll rods. Scroll rods have spoiled me. It is Blackbird. A little bit of spring. Oh, I love their patterns. Oh, something about, I don't know. 32 count linen in speculaas with call for week dye works. Speculaas is from Roxy Floss Co. That's the linen. It's 32 count, 2/2 with the called for weeks dye works and gentle arts. And I was getting really frustrated not stitching it in scroll rods. I cut the fabric down, everything. I think it's still probably too big. I should probably, I'm not a sewer quilter, so measuring and cutting is not my thing. But I'm getting better. And it needs to go on scroll rods. So I started the border. Love it, love it. It was a gift from my mother-in-law, the kit. I love it. Absolutely love it. The pile is growing. This is my other 1897 schoolhouse sampler that I started in 2024. All right. This is My Precious Jewel, Anne Alice Townsend's work, age 9, May 5th, 1841. That's it. This was one of my 24 starts in 2024. Oh, gorgeous. It's on 32 count linen in Ancient by Picture This Plus. Threads are Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works called for. 2/2 started January 1st, 2024. And that tree was a bitch. It took me 3 or 4 tries of, I'd stitch and then I'd have to frog a piece, and then I'd get past what I had to frog and stitch. I think I had to stop and frog bits 3 or 4 times. But hey, it's done, and I'm starting to get the birds. I don't know what it is about that tree. I think because it's funky monkey. It's a fun tree. It's no different than the one from by the bay in my Haven Harbor piece. Oh, other Jacob. Oops. This is Modern Folk Embroidery. How doth, oh, that's really wrinkled. How doth the little busy bee a pen keeper's cushion? Oh, God, it's gorgeous. I think because it's dark fabric. I have a hard time with dark fabric and with my eyes. 32 count Night Owl by Roxy Floss. The floss is Tournesol by Roxy Floss. Started July 11th, 2022. And this is as far as I got. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I am loving it. See, I love what I have. I just, yeah. Okay. All right, this was a gift. Primitive Hair. Another 24, one of my 24 starts in 2024. Borealis Fox by Primitive Hair. Started this April 15th, 2024. We've had a lot of Aurora Borealises lately in our area over the lake. Started April 15th, 2024. 30 count Tempest by Primitive Hair with called for DMC and Threadworks threads 2/2. I think there's one thread I couldn't get. I have to go to Stitches Central to see if they have it. And I don't know which way it goes. Oh God. All right. And this one's over 30 minutes in. Last section was 45 minutes plus 35. All right. This one. 24 starts in 2024. Really sad start. I think that's what it was. I was trying to cram too many starts into 1 year. So some of these are really bad. Heartstring Samplery. Take it out of the plastic bag. I'm sorry. Flanders Fields Biscornu. I was watching somebody's whip parade. I've been watching a lot of whip parades, and I can't remember whose it was. She was working on this. She was, of course, because, like, you know, further than me, because who isn't? Oh, it's gorgeous. I love poppies. To be honest, I love poppies. I started this December 31st, 2024. That explains the sad start. Where is it? There it is. 32 count linen in gray by Weeks Dye Works, using the called for Weeks Dye Works floss. You mean really sad? What? 30 stitches, if that? Yeah. All right, next. Oh, I love this one. This is a Tiny Modernist. Another 24 starts in 2024. The Yule Goddess. Oh, she's gorgeous. I love her. 30 count linen in Grasshopper. It feels more like a 28, but it says it's 30 count. I double checked. 30 count linen in Grasshopper by Weeks Dye Works. In the called for DMC, started December 31st, 2024, and I worked on this at the spring 2025 Stitch North. I love it. All right, the pile is shrinking. We're doing good. This is Artsy Housewife. This was for Caroline's birthday when she turned 50. Caroline from Evertote. She turned 50 in 2024. And this was the stitch along, and of course it's the start along. Weeds and Wildflowers. I think it was created exclusively for Caroline's birthday as a collaboration between Roxy Evertote and Gigi at Artsy Housewife. Oh. 32 count buttercup linen. I fell in love with this linen. I think I got some more in my stash. Called for Roxy Floss. Started July 7th, 2024. And that's as soon as I got. Yeah. Yeah. We do not judge. Remember that. Oh, this is another collaboration from Park Hopper Bart. Oh. Be Merry All. So I don't do a lot of holiday stitching. I know some people love their seasonal stitches. They stitch Christmas at Christmas time. They stitch Thanksgiving at Thanksgiving time. They stitch Halloween at Halloween, or generic autumn, summer, whatever. I stitch whatever, whenever. It was a collaboration between Park Hopper Bart, Roxy Floss, and Evertote. This is on 32 count Billie Jean by Roxy Floss with the called for Roxy Floss. I don't know when I started it. It was whenever it came out. The Feast 2. 2 over 2. Sad, sad, sad. I'm telling you, this is going to explain some of my plans for 2026. This was another gift. This was from my daughter Laura from England. It was a kit she picked up. She was living in Scotland at the time. She now lives in England. At the time, she was in Scotland. Field and Fur. It's a Scottish company. Fabric and Floss. The fabric, of course, is Ada. And this is my pitiful start. It's a bit more full coverage, as you can tell. And I think that was what stalled me. But now I'm more comfortable, especially since doing the Mirabilia with full coverage. So I can do this. I can do this. And when did I start it? March 21st, 2023. And I really haven't worked on it since because I felt it overwhelming. Oh, here's another 24 starts in 2024. What is it? Oh dear. It's itty bitty. It's a small. It's a kit I picked up at Stitch North from Pastime Pieces. She's one of the vendors that usually shows up. Scattered Seeds Samplers Summer Sweets Pin Keep. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's cute. 36 count Edinburgh linen in Vintage Country with the called for DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. And the kit came with finishing. It was started December 28th, 2024. Again, it was one of the 24 starts in 2024. I love it. And it came with like a full finishing kit. And I'll explain my last whip, but now that I've started to finish smalls. All right. Oh, we're getting there. What's this one? Tiny Modernist. I'm missing something here. Oh, there it no. I'm missing the start along. The kit from Holiday Countdown 2024. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Did it fall? Oh, it fell. One moment, please. And of course, it fell upside down. Give me 1 second, please. Sorry. All right. We're almost done. Hang in there. How's your popcorn? Is it good? Is it buttered? I love buttered popcorn. I gotta watch how much I eat of it now, though, now that I'm older. All right. This was a project, a stitch along. Andrew, the runner stitcher, he got the kit. I can't show you because it's from Tidy Modernist. It's the Advent Calendar Banner. So it was a series, again, of envelopes. That was in 2024. I started it probably around December 1st last year, 2024. 32 count Lugana with the called for weeks dye works and classic color works. And I think, and gentle arts. And then I think there might be some DMs in it. I got it from Stitches Central. And this is my start. Merry Christmas. And I'm going to have lots left. And that's what I'm excited about because I love this floss, this fabric. 32 count Lugana and jade. Okay. This is another 24 starts in 2024. This was the Heartstring and Plum Street collaboration. Remember when it first... Sorry. All right, so Heartstring Samplery and Plum Street did a collab of Float Like a Butterfly, Sting Like a Bee. Two separate projects, but they kind of go together. Smalls. This again was part of my 24 starts in 2024. They both got started December 30th, 2024. So there's Float by Plum Street, 40 count Country Mocha, Newcastle Linen, DMC Floss. And which is which? Oh, this one. Because it was December. Again, it's 24 starts in 2024. I was just throwing stitches into anything. That's as far as I got. I was at center start. Heartstring Sampler. Sting Like a Bee. Again, 40 count Country Mocha. Called for DMC. Started December 30th. It's the white, so it can be hard to see. All right. It's this one. This is the holiday countdown between Roxy Floss, Jacob. I got all the cards. I can't show you the pattern. Of course, Jacob shows all the artwork. Oh. And it started December 1st, 2024. 32 count Glacier. Oh, I ended up buying more of this because I just love it. I think I bought it for the Winter Quaker from Leela Studio that is kitted. That I want to start someday. Called for Roxy Floss, 2/2. And there's my sad start. Again, go to Caroline's last year, like 2024 holiday countdown videos on her FlossTube channel. Off the grid. Friday off the grid. Sorry. There. I'm getting used to this microphone. This is something I was recently working on. Oh, Shakespeare Peddler. Dupe. This is on another Ada piece. It is Pennsylvania Christmas Deer. Isn't that cute? 20 count Ada. I think it's 20 count. I was stitching this at Stitch North this fall, and one of my table mates, which one was it? Sylvia Perez Hardy. She says, because she stitches Ada, she's pretty sure it's 20 count Ada in Candy Apple by Roxy Floss. The thread was the Floss Conversion by Roxy Floss Legendary. And that's as far as I got. I have been stitching on this year. I was working on it this past November, and I stitched on it at Stitch North in October. Oh, love it. It's another small. And then the final whip. Drum roll, please. I signed up for the Frisian Quintessential Smalls collaboration again between Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery, whoops, Roxy Floss, and Evertote. Came in a box. I finished, so it's supposed to spread at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I actually kept along with the stitch along for August. It's upstairs. Then came September. September and October were kind of off the rails for me. So it's on 32 count porcelain, I believe. And the thread is Falu Red. I started the scissor fob. This is September. Isn't it cute? 2/2. It's probably backwards. Falu Red. I even have the cord done and ready. I just have to finish it. So this is part of my 2026 plans. This includes in it. So this is September. I think this was October. November, we took a break for the holiday countdown in December, and this is January. So this is done. This is 90%, 95% done. These haven't even started. So that's part of my 2026 plans. So that's my whips. Now we're going to get on to the plans for 2026. For me, 2026, I've decided to call it Stitch Like It's the Zombie Apocalypse in 2026. I have been very good, as you can tell by my whip parade, at beginning things. Not so good at finishing things. These are my whips. I won't even get started on the kitted that I have. I have more kitted than I have whips. And I always joke that I have enough stash projects, kitted, etc., that I could, if the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow and I had to go into a bunker and hunker down for 20 years, I'd be good. So I'm going to focus on what I have because I'm very fortunate. I am very blessed to have a lot. So hence the Stitch Like It's the Zombie Apocalypse in 2026. I want to focus on finishing this year's 2025 holiday countdown, finishing the pinwheels. I want to work some more on my whips. For starts, I don't have a lot of planned starts. 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I can't not have new starts. I will not promise to never buy anything during 2026. Never say never, right? But my focus is on what I have, what I currently have, how blessed I am with what I have. So these are 3 starts. 1, 2, and 3, yes. So 2 are Modern Folk Embroidery and 1 is 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Will there be other starts? Probably. I organized and separated my whips and from my kitted up, and it's just like, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. It was like new purchases all over again, that a little dopamine hit. So these are the 3 for sure new starts. 2 will definitely be this. 1 will be this week, maybe 1 next week. The 3rd one will probably be in February. You'll see why. I did not purchase the Salentines for this year in 2025 collaboration between Modern Folk, Evertotes, and Roxy Floss. I am not going to Spring Stitch North because we have a major trip planned with our 2 girls, Laura and Amanda, to celebrate their degrees. Laura got her PhD in 2024, 2024, and Amanda got her double master's in museum studies and archives in 2024 as well. And so Amanda's never been overseas, so we're flying over, meeting up with Laura in England and flying to Norway to begin a 2-week Viking cruise of the British Isles that ends in London, where Laura will say, bye-bye, I have to go back to work, and take the train back to her village in Oxfordshire. And we will stay for 2 to 3 days with Amanda. And she really wants to see the Tower of London, and she hasn't decided what else she wants to see. She has 3 days of things to see. So we're really excited for that. So we book our excursions tomorrow. Tomorrow the excursions open up. We sat down over the holidays and planned what our first, second, third, and sometimes fourth choices are, depending on what's available. We're hoping everything we want is still available. Our first choices, a lot of it's hiking, and a lot of the cruisers are elderly, so they don't always go for the hikes, so we'll see. We're really excited about that. I am doing the Kit and Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler, Teresa Vanette Stitch North Retreat. I am booked. I have my room booked. I am going in end of October of 2026. I will be going to that retreat. I am so excited. That's where I could run in problems for shopping. I have, as you saw, 2 whips from Shakespeare's Peddler, and I have a 3rd Shakespeare project that's kitted. I think Ellen is working on it right now. It's the Red House one. It's in there somewhere. It's in one of those. Boop, boop, boop. I have 3 of these units, and each unit have 3 boxes, and each box is overflowing. Plus, I have 2 of these cabinets, and these drawers are full of projects, and there's space for these projects to go in there too. Anyway, so I'm sure I'll be buying some more, but my primary focus is on what I have. There's some projects that I might start that I'm missing a thread, floss, color, or something that I couldn't kit up. When I kitted up, I couldn't get it. The Borealis Fox is missing a ThreadWorks thread that I can go to Stitch Essential and get a substitute for. So it's not a big deal. So the project that I will start probably tomorrow or Friday, depending on how my week goes. Caroline from Evertote has started a stitch along that is with the 1897 Schoolhouse Sampler. Leanne, my friend Leanne. Hi, Leanne. And it's To Thine Own Self Be True. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then there's that. Is that upside down? Oh, that's right. That's her ragamuffin sampler that she reproduced into that. So the stitch along has started. Rhea has not. Monday we had to bring, like I said, bring Laura to the airport, and yesterday was a bit of a write-off, and I had to catch up on some work stuff, and then today we had the guys. So I'm hoping tomorrow or at least Friday. My chosen fabric is 32 count speculoos, and then Hannah did the Roxy floss. I am a thread. I figured out my go-to for floss is floss away bags. I showed you one that I had the flosses on a ring without in bags. It's just an exercise in futility for me. I am a floss away bag kind of person. It works for us best for me. My plan is to start this tomorrow or Friday. Get some stitches in. Caroline has done this carriage, and it's freaking cute. Oh my God, it is so cute. So I joined the Facebook group that Caroline, it was originally for Hannah Atwater that Caroline finished. It was gorgeous, and she switched it to that. And then there's another 1897 Schoolhouse Sampler, which I do not have. I don't think I'll buy it this year. I gotta focus on what I have. That's the thing. I squirrel, right? And so she's focusing on those 2. The second project that I'll probably start next week, most people, if not everyone who has it, has started January 1st, because it's Jacob's Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along for 2026. Oh my God, little acorns. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a biggie. Jacob's is always biggie. He's broken it down into, you know, January to do all the board. No, I'm not doing the borders first, because you know how screwed up that's going to be for me. I will probably do a center start or a top center start. I don't know, either top center or center center. Or center's around here. 32 count speculoos. I've got my scroll rods ready. I'm going to put these on scroll rods probably tomorrow with Falu red. You will see other people stitching all kinds of threads and fabrics. My third beginning project is one that has been sitting since 2024. It's the With Love Salentines by Modern Folk Embroidery, Evertote, and Roxy Floss. 32 count porcelain with the called for Roxy Floss threads. And then there's a bunch of smalls included in the pattern. How cute are they? There's like a... What I like about Jacob is that he has some Scandinavian influenced designs like this. And when you look at his little acorns, I'll probably start this in February. Yeah, here's the fabric. Porcelain, Roxy Floss. You see a lot of Roxy Floss in my stash. So that is my plans for 2026. If you stuck around this long, how's your popcorn? So I have a stack of books. If you do not want to stick around, I'm just going to go briefly. It won't be long. This is what I got for Christmas. This is what I got for Christmas. My family knows me well. We are a family of book readers. We have an independent bookshop in Sarnia, and I'm probably one of their best customers at Christmas, if not their best, between my husband, my 3 kids, and now my future daughter-in-law. We're all book readers. Anyways, thank you. I hope you enjoyed my extensive whip parade. I hope I didn't ramble. I hope the microphone worked very well. It says the light is still going, so that's good. Thank you for watching. Thank you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this. Whether you watched it all in one sitting or you had to take a few breaks here and there, that's okay. Till next time, you'll probably, today's January 6th, so maybe early February, I can show the progress on those 2 starts, and the goal is to get that holiday countdown done. I'm saving the best for last, which is the 2 birds in the middle that are just... So that's the plans. So I will close out the cross stitch portion of this floss tube with have a little kindness for yourself and for others. Create magic whenever you can by putting needle and thread to fabric. Till next time, take care. Book time. I got a stack of books. These are what I got, mostly nonfiction, and I think one nonfiction. One fiction, the rest is nonfiction. I read both. I'm a history junkie, so a lot of these are history. First one, Winters in the World, A Journey Through the Anglo-Saxon Year, is a beautifully observed journey through the cycle of the year in Anglo-Saxon England, exploring not only the rituals and customs linked to the different seasons, but the profound relationship between human life and the rhythms of nature. Eleanor Parker provides an imaginative connection to this Anglo-Saxon world, tracing the surprising history of its festivals, unearthing traditions now long forgotten, and celebrating some of the finest treasures of medieval literature. Whoops, I was out of camera. Second one, also by Eleanor Parker, Dragon Lords, The History and Legends of Viking England. Why did the Vikings sail to England? Were they indiscriminate raiders motivated solely by bloodlust and plunder? One narrative, the stereotypical one, might have it so, but locked away in the buried history of the British Isles are other far richer and more nuanced stories, and these hidden tales paint a picture very different from the ferocious pillagers of popular repute. So this one, this has to do with my ancestry. Frisians and their North Sea neighbors from the 5th century to the Viking Age. My mom was born and raised Frisian. My dad was born in Groningen, but when we did ancestry, we found out he's got a lot, if not mostly, Frisian ancestry. I traced the first ancestor that was in Friesland to the 1600s, but it says he came from North Holland, which is by Amsterdam. My maiden name's Sloterdijk. There's a town called Sloterdijk. I have a feeling that's where he came from. He went to Friesland. He was in a port town, Harlingen, and I think when it came to last name, I came from Sloterdijk. I'll be Sloterdijk, and hence the history. But anyways, my mom was very proud of her Frisian roots. Frisian is a very unique province in the country of the Netherlands. They have a very unique language. A lot of our English phonetically comes from the Frisian language. There's also some Frisian islands in northern Germany, and it has a lot of history going back to the Iron Age and beyond. But my mom would always touch on the Frisian here and now, and anything I could find was after the area was Christianized. I wanted to know more about the ancient tribes pre-Romanization, pre-Christianization, what was really going on and what were the tribes like. And I found this book, I asked for it, I got it. As early as the 1st century AD, learned Romans knew of more than one group of people living in northwestern Europe beyond their empire's Gallic provinces, whose names contain the element that gave us modern Frisian. These were Celtic-speaking people, but the population seems to have been completely replaced in the course of the convulsions that Europe underwent at the transition from the ancient world to the early medieval in the 4th and 5th centuries. The importance of linguistically Germanic Frisians as neighbors of the Anglo-Saxons, Franks, Saxons, and Danes in the centuries immediately following the fall of the Roman Empire in the West is widely recognized, and yet these folks themselves remain enigmatic and the details of their culture and organization unfamiliar. So it's just basically a series of papers. We'll see. Oh, this is from Folio Society. It's a company out of England. My mouth is getting dry, sorry. Folio, F-O-L-I-O. And they bind and sell books, which is merely not paperback, but in gorgeous, almost vintage-like hardcover. And then I got this one, Pole to Pole by Michael Palin. So in the 80s or 90s, there was a documentary series of Michael Palin from Monty Python fame. He did Pole to Pole. And they did a documentary series following his adventures doing Pole to Pole. Now I found out Will Smith is recreating this. They have it out on Disney Channel. But this is the book with the diary and some imagery of his travels from the North, I think it was North Pole to South Pole. And so, yeah. Where does he start? Yeah, he's in the North Pole. He starts in the North Pole and then he ends up in this Antarctic. Yeah, the South Pole. So I'm interested to read that. I remember the documentary. I loved it. Another Frisian book. This one's very easy, very basic. It's not as academic. The history of the Frisians, the evolution of Friesland. And this one, I think it starts, it's more like a Cole's Notes. Second folio is from Rachel Carson, Silent Spring. You remember this book was originally out 60s or 70s. It's one of the books her research helped get DDT and started the environmental protections that we now have that has allowed for like us here in Southern Ontario to see bald eagles again and hawks and owls and turkey vultures. So it's basically about the toxins in the environment and what damage they're doing. This one, I started to listen on audiobook and I really loved it, so I asked for it to read it. Embers of the Hands, Hidden Histories of the Viking Age, written by Eleanor Barraclough. She's British. She excavates a preserved lost world that imagines a misunderstood society by examining artifacts of the past. such as remnants of wooden gaming boards, elegant antler combs, doodles of imaginative children and bored teenagers, and runes that reveal hidden loves. Oh, my fiction book is the latest Louise Penny, The Black Wolf. I have a couple others. Heather Pringle, The North Women, Untold Stories from the Other Half of the Viking World. Because you always hear about the men. This one is about the women. Yeah, until Scandinavia converted to Christianity, the Vikings were a dominant force in the medieval world. But not all disruption is harmful. They constructed cities, became the first Europeans to set foot in North America, and reached the English language. Using the latest archaeological research and historical findings to reveal women as formidable figures who served as sorceresses, warriors, traders, artisans, explorers, settlers, landowners, and power brokers at home and abroad. Because you always hear about the men. Last but not least, The Missing Thread by Daisy Dunn, A Woman's History of the Ancient World. Trying to get some, because a lot of times when you read history, because it's either whitewashed and misogynistic, you don't always hear about the women. So this is another one, and this one is by Daisy Dunn. Emphasizing women's roles within it. The missing thread never relegates women to the sidelines. Again, what roles do they really play? And that's it for my books. I hope you enjoyed this. It's now over an hour for this half and 45 minutes for the other. So that's a 2-hour. Yay. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and we will talk to you later. Take care, and I hope you have a wonderful January. Till next time, friends, take care.